everyone, my name is Shellsea and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos. Just a wee little word of warning, we are going to be staring at this frame for a little while because I don't really know what else to look at for this kind of video. So yeah, hopefully you like the back of Indy's neck. I couldn't even really get a good look at her face. So yep, we're just going to be staring at the very blurry tattoo she's got there because I have to have all my settings on medium when I'm doing gameplay. Otherwise I get endless saving. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. I've been talking on my streams for a few months now, I want to say, about how I want to do a video that basically goes over a lot of the things that I use nraas retuner for. That's what this video is. I've been putting off making this video purely because I don't actually really know how to make it. So this is probably going to end up being a little bit of a mess. Sorry in advance if that ends up being the case. We're going to be spending a lot of time in menus, so if you hate menus, this is probably not the video for you. Yeah, well, it's just going to be a bit of an interesting one. Okay, if you don't know what retuner is, it's a nraas mod. Obviously, this is the page for it. This is the nraas website. This is where you download it. This is where the documentation for it is. The description of this mod is: this mod provides the ability to alter which interactions are autonomous and or user directed via an in-game interface, both iTunes and social database. It also allows altering the value of most non-table based tunable fields normally available in XML tuning. The alteration can be made to operate within a set time during the day, allowing for different values at night as well as different values per season. If you absolutely have no understanding of what retuner is, I don't even know if that's going to make any sense. Basically what it does is it allows you to really fine-tune things within your game, and quite frankly it is my absolute favorite nraas mod. If I could only play with one nraas mod, it would be this one. And this video is basically just to kind of try and demonstrate the different things that I do with it to perhaps inspire gameplay for anybody watching and to answer questions, because I do get questions about what the fuck I'm doing pretty often. So yep, that's the gist of it. We're gonna hop on into the retuner menu in a moment and I'll just I don't know, start firing off all the cool and maybe a bit weird things that I use retuner for. There is a possibility that I'm going to forget to include some things here and there, but the main things that I use retuner for will be in this video, so don't panic. Okay. Alrighty, so as with any other nraas mod, you can access the menu from either the town hall, which is over here, or just at a computer. Use a computer because it's easiest. Just click it, find nraas, and retuner will be right here. If it's not here, you haven't installed it properly. You should probably go back and read the website again. The first thing that I recommend changing in retuner, in the menu at least, is this show object menu option. I think by default it's set to false. I highly recommend setting this to true, because what that does is it'll add a retuner section to every object you click on, essentially, that has stuff that you can tune. And the object menu is where you can control the autonomy of things and the age and species, blah blah blah. That's just a really handy menu. Everything that you can access through the object menu, you can obviously also access in the nraas menu, but it's just wildly convenient to be able to just literally click on anything that you want to change autonomy on and it's right there. So yeah, that is the first thing that I would recommend changing. As far as my own settings go, I'm not going to go in any particular order for this. I'm quite literally just going to show things as I think of them. I've actually done absolutely no prep for this video, which might not have been my best idea, but oh well, we're just winging it. Okay, I'm a fan of winging things. But the first thing I'll mention is kind of a less noticeable thing, but also at the same time very convenient thing, if that makes sense. So you know the little interaction queue that we have up here? By default, I think it caps you at 8 interactions in the queue. You're not going to believe this, but you can change that amount in nraas retuner, and I've done that. So to access that setting, obviously you're going to start in retuner. You're going to go to settings, general, by tunable XML. You're going to come to sims3.gameplay.actor systems. You're going to come to sims3.gameplay.actor systems. You're going to scroll through all of this there is a lot to scroll through, to be honest with you. And you're going to come down to interaction queue right here. And the value that you want to adjust is user max length. I have mine set at 30. I set this at 30 when I was using my other monitor to play The Sims, which is 2560 by 1440 resolution. The monitor that I'm currently using is 1920 by 1080. So to be honest, I probably need to lower that. 30 worked well for my big monitor or my large resolution monitor. I don't think it would really be that ideal for me now. So maybe just like set it to 20 or something if you want like to fill the entire thing, or even 50. Literally just set it to whatever you want. I think by default it's 8. You can make it higher is basically what I'm saying. And I say it's a setting that I don't really notice all that often, but it's also wildly convenient because it's very rare that I, you know, have 30 things that I want to queue up for my Sims in a row. As much as I love like planning things out for my Sims and really micromanaging their lives, that is a bit of a high number. However, it does come in very, very handy for things like absolutely blowing up somebody's phone with texts, trying to get a friendship up with them. So that's cool. All right, we're back to the main menu. Speaking of blowing up Sims phones with texts to get my friendship up with them, another thing that I've used Retuner for is to increase the long-term relationship that my Sims gain from texts. By default, for every text that you send to a Sim, their relationship goes up by 1, which obviously, a friendship, you need a long-term relationship of 40 to be considered friends. That's a lot of text that I need to send, and I just really wasn't all that thrilled about that. So I've changed that in here too. To change that, you're going to go to settings again, general, by tunable XML. You're going to come down to sims3.gameplay.objects.electronics. In this menu, you're going to come to phone plus send chat text. And this option is chat text LTR, long-term relationship. Change that value to whatever, you know, amount of friendship points you want to gain per text. Like I said, by default it's 1. Mine is 5. So just to show that off, I'm gonna get Indy to text somebody. She can text. Okay, we'll text Bradley Sebastian, her brother. At the moment, their relationship is 66.6. I'm gonna stop her browsing the web for a moment. I'm gonna send a friendly text. I have absolutely no idea why this is showing up on my siblings, so we're just gonna ignore that. Okay. We're gonna send him a friendly text. We're just gonna stare at this little thing here. Oh my god, that's an angel number, by the way. God, 2025 rocks. Alrighty, so she sent one text and their friendship is now 71.6. 66.6 plus 5 is 71.6. So yeah, quick math or whatever. What are you doing? Okay, whatever. So yeah, that is another thing that I use it for. One of the first things I actually taught myself how to do with Retuner. I really bloody hate how much my Sims autonomously play video games. You can disable that with Retuner. There are actually a lot of things that you can do within Retuner that people have made mods for. So like if you scroll through Mod The Sims and you see all these like no autonomous video games, no autonomous jumping in puddles, yada yada yada, you can actually save yourself some package files in your mods folder. You can do that with Retuner. So yeah, something to bear in mind. So this is where you would think that the object menu would come in handy. However, since it's on the computer, it's not quite that simple. So you do have to navigate the hard way. But to get to that, you just go to settings, general, by object. You're going to come and track down, I've scrolled past it, computer. There is also cheap and computer laptop. I don't think I've looked at either of these, so I'm assuming everything you need is in here. And you're going to see like everything that your Sims can do on the computer, including play computer games right here. So you're going to go into there and you just set allow autonomous to false. You can also change the autonomy for non-greeted Sims. You can change it for greeted Sims. Greeted Sims being like Sims who you've greeted and invited inside, blah, blah, blah. User directed is like you doing it, like you making them do something. If you don't want an interaction to even show up like in a menu or anything like that for whatever reason, you can set that to false. I've done that before. But yeah, if you want to stop the autonomous video gaming usage, then this is the one that you need to change. There's also a little allow age species section. So if for whatever reason you wanted to ban children from playing video games entirely, you could do that here by setting human child to false. Kind of wouldn't recommend allowing it for like, I don't know, sharks, for example, just because I don't know what the hell that would do. I don't know why large bird is just sitting here in its own category, but whatever. So yeah, there's that. Very handy. I've also done no autonomous video games for gaming consoles. And I guess like I can show you how convenient the object menu is of that. I just need to buy one of those bad boys. Just plonk it down there. So yeah, if you wanted to disable autonomy for video games for the console, you literally just need to click on the console, nraas, retuner, go to general, unless you wanted to change it by season, but I typically do general. And once again, play video game. And just change the autonomy to false. I should have mentioned this before, but you can also like unlock shit for pregnant sims as well. They're pretty restricted in this video game and it's kind of bullshit, so that's cool. Yeah, changing the autonomy of things is pretty much that simple for everything, especially if you have the object menu on. So like there will absolutely be 50 million things that I've changed the autonomy on that I'm just not going to mention in this video because I'm not going to remember all of them on the spot, first of all, and also just because it is literally self-explanatory. Sick of your sims looking out the window? Guess what? You can click on the fucking window, click nraas, retuner, general, look out window, set that to false. Apparently I don't care about my sims looking out the window, but if you do, there you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, I gotta rack my brain for what's next, baby. Okay, the next few things I'm gonna mention are possibly a little bit over the top and maybe a little bit too pedantic for most players, but I personally really enjoy these next few things, so I'll just share them. Okay, if they're a bit weird, don't worry about it. Okay, we all play our games differently, that's fine. All right, the first one, I don't know how much I've rabbited on about this in my streams or anything, but one thing about me, I fucking hate outerwear. I don't know why. I just absolutely cannot stand my sims changing into outerwear. I would literally rather update their everyday outfits every season and like, you know, make them suit the season that it is, than have them change into their goddamn outerwear. I hate outerwear so much, it really bothers me. So Retuner has allowed me to make it so that my sims basically never ever change into their outerwear. It's actually wildly convenient because I sort of use the outerwear category as like a storing ground for outfits now. If that sounds like your cup of tea and you also want to do that, then all you gotta do is go to the Retuner menu, go settings, go general, buy tunable XML, sims3.gameplay.actors, sim, right at the top. There are a lot of things in here, but the thing that we want to change is K temperature to switch to outerwear. And as you can see, I've set this value to -999. I think this is in Fahrenheit. I just did -999 to be safe because I knew that I would never in this game hit a temperature of -999 Celsius or Fahrenheit. So that's what I've done. And now my sims never use their outerwear. And if you want to do it for toddlers as well, which I recommend, you're going to back out of the sims3.gameplay.actors category. You're going to come to sims3.gameplay.actorsystems.children. You're going to come to change toddler clothes, and it's basically the exact same thing. Temperature to switch toddler to outerwear. I've got that to -999. So they never get into their outerwear. And it's awesome. All right, the next things I'm going to mention are definitely a little bit over the top and pedantic. One of the things I've been doing for a while now, the other thing I've only recently introduced and am quite frankly having the time of my fucking life with. For those of you who don't know, I play rotationally. Every time I switch to a new household, I like to change the number of group servings for food to the number of sims in the household. So I never actually have any leftovers. I only ever cook enough to feed the household. Even if it's just 2 sims in the household, my group servings will become 2. To access that setting, you just come back to the Retuner menu. You go to settings, general, buy tunable XML, come down to sims3.gameplay.objects.cooking objects, come to food, and a number of servings for group meal is right here. Okay, this is obviously wrong. This is not actually the household I'm playing with right now. I'm playing with Dylan. And there's 5 sims in that household, so it's 5 right now. If I was playing with this household, it would be 2. You can change that to whatever you want it to be, and that'll be how many servings are in a group menu. I haven't seen how high you can make this. I wouldn't go too buck wild with it though. Yeah, you know what, actually, for the sake of this video, let's see if I can have a serving of 35. Hopefully my game doesn't explode. All right, come on, Indy, it's time to cook. Oh my god, where's the kitchen? Oh, for fuck's sake, I have to go grocery shopping. Hold on. All right, we're going to have Indy come over here and cook up my favorite spag bowl. And we're going to see if this group serving makes 35. I am experiencing a little bit of lag. Whether that's a coincidence or not, I have absolutely no idea, but there you go. Kind of feel like I'm always experiencing just a little bit of lag anyway, so kind of hard to know. Oh my god, Dylan's ex is still obsessed with him, for fuck's sake. I'm so sick of getting that notification. Anyways. All right, moment of truth. Oh my fucking god, I'm so bloody sick of my sims doing this. Okay, let's try that again. Moment of truth. I can't see how many servings there are, for god's sake. Okay, why is that happening? You know what, I'm just gonna not put away the leftovers. I'm just gonna grab like, oh my god, I've been spamming clean up this entire time. I'm gonna queue up 10 grabber plates. If she can successfully grab all 10 of these plates, then I think it's safe to say it worked. Like, I have to actually cut her off every time she grabs one. Sorry. All right, this is gonna be annoying. Okay, to be totally honest with you, I don't even know where she's put them all, but she did indeed grab 10 servings of spaghetti, and she still has some left over, so that does appear to have worked. Oh, there's 2 of them there. So I've got 4 here. There's 1 in the little cabinet here, another 2 here. Don't be fooled by this one. There's actually 3 here. Yep, shitload of spaghetti. Okay. I don't know why the hell anybody would want or need that much spaghetti, but it's, I don't know, kind of fun to know that you can do that, I guess. All right, now back to the computer she goes. All right, another thing that I do with food that is definitely kind of weird. This is the thing that I've only recently started. I'm kind of really big on meal prepping for my Sims these days. I literally on Sunday, which is always the first day of my cycle, I will have a Sim, go to the supermarket and shop by recipe, buy breakfast and dinner for the next 7 days. And I will have a Sim on the Sunday, cook every single goddamn meal up, and I will put it in a fridge somewhere away from the house. That's not actually technically a fridge, it's a storage chest. I just use the transmogrifier to copy the script of a storage chest into a different fridge, because if you put it in another fridge, it's fridges share inventories. It's fucking annoying, but that's the thing. But yeah, since I'm technically putting food into a storage box and not actually a fridge, what do we think the problem there is, my friends? Those meals that I've put my hard work into, they're gonna spoil, except they're not. You know why? Because of retuner. Okay, so I mean, you might not find this handy for the same reason that I do, but if you wanted to make it so that your food takes longer to spoil, here's how you do that. nraas, settings, general, by tunable XML, cooking objects, once again. This time we're going to prepared food. Base time to next food spoilage stage. I've got mine at 700,000. I don't know what it is by default. It's absolutely not that high, but yeah, I think I just set mine to a random number that was really, really high and just not a number that I was ever going to have to deal with. Like I was never going to get past this amount of time with food in my fridge. 700,000. That's not even 700,000. I think it's sim minutes. I don't know. Either way, it's not even this amount until the food spoils. It's the amount of time until it's at its like next stage. So basically, if it's outstanding, the meal, it'll take this long before it's perfect, and then it'll take that long again before it's great, or whatever order that goes in. I actually never pay attention to that, so I have no idea. So yeah, absolutely over the top, but if you wanted to do that too, again, for whatever reason, that's how. I actually so highly recommend doing that. It is so fun micromanaging your Sims' lives like that. Goddamn. It might be weird, but satisfying. Alrighty, the next couple of things that I'm going to mention are pretty cheaty. I have been a cheater in The Sims since I was very, very young, so this is just how I play my game. If you also like to cheat and these following things sound enticing to you, then groovy. I'm showing you them. One of the things I've done is I've changed the upgrade time for pretty much all of my electronics and appliances and stuff like that, just because I think the upgrade time, specifically making things unbreakable, is far too long by default. So I've sliced that time down to, I think 90 minutes is how long it takes for the longest upgrade, when originally it was like 240. So I actually highly recommend having nraas debug enabler as well for doing this, because with debug enabler, what you can do is, let me find a upgradable thing, the sink, for example. Obviously to tweak the appliance or electronic or something like that, you can't just do it in the object menu, because the object menu is basically just like covering who can do this and like, can you do this autonomously? So if you enter upgrade down here, there's nothing you can change to make the upgrade faster. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but yeah. So obviously you need to, within Retuner, find the right like tunable XML. And a really easy way to do that with the debug enabler is you click on the object, you go nraas, debug enabler, options, whatever the thing is, rinky dinky kitchen sink, this one. Oh, sorry, sinky, my bad. And then you go to object and just click this who am I, and then up here, this little thing right here, right under who am I, ignore the rest of this, that is what you need. So keep that open, come back to your town hall or your computer, blah, blah, blah. And now we go to Retuner. So nraas, Retuner, settings, general, by tunable XML. And we're going to find that basically. So sims3.gameplay.objects.plumbing. as we can see, is right here. However, it's plumbing.mimics we need. So into that one we go. And then sink counter kitchen, sink counter kitchen. You click on that. Cleanable tuning has the value for the self-cleaning upgrade. It's under upgrade self-cleaning. You just click that and then change this to however many minutes you want it to be. Mine's 60. For unbreakable, it's repairable tuning. Right at the bottom, upgrade unbreakable. That's the value that you change. Mine's 90, as I said. Yeah, I mean, you can change the repair time if you want to, like the maximum amount of time it takes, minimum amount of time it takes. I don't think I've touched either of those, but you know, the options there. And yeah, that's it for that. So I've done that for computers, TVs, sinks, showers, bathtubs, toilets, blah, 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 blah. And you all do it the way that I just showed you. Like you apply that to everything. So yeah, that's pretty handy. All of my Sims have like self-cleaning or unbreakable things because it takes them absolutely no time. That's fantastic. Next up inside my brain, we've got some cheaty skill related things. I think the first thing I changed in Retuner in regards to skills and all that, I think it was the social networking skill because of quite literally this sim here. I've tweaked my social networking skill so my Sims kind of no longer get blogged out and I can make them blog as many times as I want to in a row and it won't negatively affect them. And I might have made it so that they don't really lose followers for not posting because I forgot to post kind of all the time. For that, obviously, back to nraas, retuner, settings, general, by tunable XML, sims3.gameplay.skills, social networking skill. There's so much shit that you can mess around with in here. What I have messed with is, okay, yep, these two here. K max number of followers to lose from not posting. I've set that to 0. And K max number of followers to lose from slow decay. I've also set that to 0. It's not actually lose, it's loose, but yep, I think that's just a typo. Well done, EA. So that's just the max number of followers to lose. You'll also need to change. My blinds are going ballistic in my bedroom. I'm very sorry if you can hear that. You'll also need to change the minimum number of followers to lose for both not posting and slow decay to 0. Might have also changed this one here, min number new followers from post. I think by default this is a negative number, so you can like lose followers with some of your posts. I could be wrong, but I feel like that was the case. Regardless, mine's at 0. The eliminating the blogged out moodlet that your Sims get though, that's actually right at the top. That one is K chance per post to get blogged out. I've set that to 0. And K chance per post to get blogged out from timer. I've also set that to 0. And yeah, now my Sims can blog all they want. So that's really cool. Back in the sims3.gameplay.skills menu, we're also going to head into writing for a sec because I've done some tweaking in the writing tunable XML. There are so many things that you could possibly tweak in here if you wanted to. Honestly, I've been pretty intimidated by this particular tunable XML, so I don't think I've really touched, you know, like these things. I think I have tried to touch them in the past and I fucked them up pretty bad, so I've sort of left them alone since then. I'm a little bit traumatized. The only thing I think I've actually tweaked in here is this one, the K rate base ppm. I don't know what the value is by default, but I've got mine set to 1, and this one affects how quickly your Sims write books overall. ppm is pages per minute. So yeah, I've got mine set to 1. My Sims write books pretty damn fast, including like the super duper long ones. They write those pretty decently fast. So yeah, you could go absolutely buck wild and set that to 2 if you wanted them to be so speedy. But yeah, that's what mine is. I actually thought I'd made it higher than 1, but it would appear that is not the case. Anyways, fast writing, hell yeah. I've also tweaked painting. If you want to speed up the painting process for your Sims, it's a little bit different to access that. There's a plane flying over my house, sorry if you can hear it. So to get to that, just come back to the tunable XML menu and then scroll to sims3.gameplay.objects.hobbies skills, and then in here we're going to go to easel. I've got paint time canvas large set to 360 and paint time canvas medium set to 240. I don't remember what they are by default. In fact, maybe I actually haven't tweaked those, so this might be default. Either way, 360 is 6 hours, medium 240, that's 4 hours. I honestly cannot tell if I've tweaked those or not, but yeah, if you wanted to change that, this would be where you do that. Just make sure that whatever the value is that you put, make sure it's a, you know, hour in minutes, if that makes sense. So if you wanted it to take 1 hour to do a large painting, make it 60. If you wanted it to take 2 hours, 120, yada, yada, yada. And that is that. I think those actually might be the only skill things I've tweaked in Retuner. If they're not the only things that I've tweaked in Retuner in terms of skills, then the other skills that I've tweaked, I kind of haven't tweaked enough for it to really be noticeable or worth mentioning, I guess. So yeah, that's how I cheat with Retuner. All right, this next one just randomly popped into my head. I honestly almost forgot to even mention this one, which is quite interesting because it's you know, a pretty decent change. But I also use Retuner to change the length of my Sims pregnancies. So by default, some pregnancies are 3 days long, mine are 5 days long. I kind of want to make them a little bit longer. I actually wouldn't mind them being like a full week, but I play rotationally and I feel like that would just be too goddamn annoying, quite frankly. But I have mine set to 5. And you could set yours to whatever you want. And here's how you do that. Okay, nraas, Retuner, settings, general, by tunable XML. Then we come into sims3.gameplay.actor systems. And then we come down to pregnancy. And here's all the shit that you can change about pregnancy. Pregnant days off, 0. I'm pretty sure that's not 0 by default. I don't like my Sims having days off work just because they're pregnant. So if you hate that too, set that to 0. Number of puddles for water break, it's at 0. If you want puddles when your Sims go into labor, change that. I personally don't because the bloody pregnant mother is probably going to have to be the one to mop it up anyway and I just can't be bothered. But the main stuff for changing the length of your pregnancy is all here. So K hours of pregnancy, obviously, that is the hours of pregnancy. Mine is set to 120. I'm guessing that's 5 days. That can't be that's not right. Oh my god, how long are my pregnancies? Hold on. Okay, no, that is 5 days. All right, sorry. It's really hot in my room. My brain's not working. Yep, hours of pregnancy, 120 hours, 5 days. Hours to show fully pregnant, I've got the set to 60. It's like halfway through the pregnancy, you're showing fully pregnant. You could change that to whatever you wanted. K hour to show pregnant buff. That's basically how many hours into the pregnancy your Sim needs to be to do the whole, you know, that thing when they're sleeping or working at their rabbit hole job and then they all of a sudden just cancel it and they stop and then there's the la-di-da-di-da music and the, oh my god, I'm pregnant. Like, that's what it is, basically. I've got mine set to 24. I think it's 24 by default. If you wanted it to be sooner, lower it. If you wanted it to be later, increase it. Hour to start pregnant motives, I've also set to 8. You can change that whenever or however you want to. One thing that's really important though, this hour to start contractions one, you need to make sure it is pretty similar to the hours of pregnancy. I would recommend having the contraction start 2 hours less than the full hours of pregnancy. I say 2 hours because I think that's what it was by default. Just do not change the hours of pregnancy without changing the contraction start time, okay? I feel like that's just going to cause absolute chaos and it might bloody well break your game. So yeah, my hours of pregnancy is at 120, my hour to start contractions 118. Try and like keep it kind of similar in difference, okay? There's also the hour to start walking pregnant that you can change. Mine's at 100. If you hate the pregnancy walk, you can like set that to, I don't know, an hour before contractions start, but I don't mind the pregnant walk, so that's what mine is. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have changed. You can also you know, increase the chances of your Sim getting backache from pregnancy, nausea, increase the triplets and twins chance if you wanted to. Yeah, but yeah, this is the main stuff. Alrighty, and this next one is going to be the last one that I show off because after this one, I do think I've shown pretty much everything that I use Retuner for, if not everything, the majority of what I use Retuner for. And this one is another one of those kind of really weirdly over the top, possibly pedantic ones. My Hail Sims are constantly disgustingly rich. This household not so much, but the rest of them is just, they have way too much money and honestly I'm fucking sick of it. And as we all know, there is a lifetime reward called the inheritance. It's 30,000 lifetime points. The inheritance by default gives your Sims a random amount of money. I don't remember what the minimum is, but I think it's like something between 5,000 and 30,000, something. I've done a really weird thing and I've made it so that the lowest amount of money the inheritance can give your Sims is like negative 50,000, and the highest it can give you is it might be 10,000 or 15,000. Something too high, might I add. I need to lower it because my Sims aren't losing enough money. So that's basically for the Sims who are, you know, at a point in their lives where they've got all the lifetime rewards that I want for them. So they've just got these lifetime happiness points banking up and not doing anything. I basically spend those on an inheritance, and then it like rolls the dice. It's like, oh, is this household going to lose or gain money? You know? Which, yeah, like I said, kind of weird and pedantic, but if you wanted to do that too, here's how. So as always, retuner settings, general by tunable XML. And this one is in sort of like a weird spot, I think, personally, but not my business. sim3.gameplay.actors, and then sim right at the top. And then K lifetime reward inheritance max. Okay, now there's a police car going past my house. I've picked the best time to record this. Lifetime reward inheritance max, lifetime reward inheritance min. Apparently my max is at 25,000. That, yep, way too high. I'll be lowering that in the actual hail save. And yeah, the minimum is minus 50,000. So anytime I have a sim redeem the inheritance one, they're either going to lose up to 50,000 simoleons or gain up to 25,000 simoleons. It's just sort of letting the sim universe kind of roll the dice, I guess. Yeah, I'm dropping that to like 10 just quietly. And that's that. Yeah, like I said, I do think that is at least the majority of the things that I use Retuner for. If I am missing anything, I apologize. But also feel free to ask me about it, I guess, in the comment section or in my streams or literally wherever. I'm sure I'll be happy to tell you. But otherwise, yeah. I also really, really highly recommend just at some point sitting and just going through and looking at all of these and seeing what you can like adjust. I'm going to be honest, sometimes I find that more fun than actually playing the game, but that might be because I'm a little bit of a nerd. LOL. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to give it a thumbs up for me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it. Let me know if you're gonna implement any of these into your gameplay, including the weird ones. If you also do some quirky things with Retuner that I haven't mentioned, let me know. Would love to hear it. Hopefully this video was at least a little bit helpful. I'm very aware that it's pretty all over the place and disorganized, but quite frankly so am I, so it's just quite fitting. But thank you for watching and listening to me, yep, regardless. I appreciate it. And download Retuner, man. I'm so serious. nraas Retuner, my favorite nraas mod. It's incredible. Holy. Alrighty, it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna go cook spag bowl. So I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you a lot. And of course, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
And click on the like button.
Don't forget to click the like button, guys.
Click the like button and subscribe.
And subscribe. Yeah. Well done, Ava. You're a natural.